Okay, what is info pack today? As you all know, I'm a part of the SML community. I mean, I literally started this channel off as a SML dedicated channel. Then it kind of moved on to bigger and you could argue worse things, but I want to make this video because I do understand both sides, right? I understand SML Talks side, but I also understand other people's side. I'm more of a in the gray area about this situation because I have made a video on SML Talks before, and I would never make a video defaming somebody. So that's not what this video is. It's more of a trying to understand more, because there's some parts of SML Talks that I agree with. There's some parts I don't agree with, and that is just being human. You're not going to agree with everybody, even if you have a friend or a girlfriend. You're not going to agree with them 100%, right? And that goes for people on the internet 100%. What do I agree with SML Talks? I agree that SML has gone downhill. Now, I still do enjoy the episodes more than most. For instance, I really liked the Misery video, the one that was made during Halloween, and he did it. And that's fine. That's being human. You're not going to agree with everything. And I don't know if it's just because I made the video reacting to his, but he hasn't attacked me much. Even though I do make comments on his videos every once in a while, you know, saying that, oh, you didn't like the video, but here's why I liked the video. And I think he's either changed his way of viewing stuff, or I'm just a special breed. That's another way of saying I'm dumb, but no. I mean, like, a lot of people say that he, like, I've been at the brunt end of this. When I first found his channel, I thought he was a bit intense about how he went about things. But then when I started really diving deep into his criticism, he has valid criticism, especially with one video when I really started understanding his frustration was the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift video that SML uploaded. That was the worst SML video in history. Yes, it's worse than Jeffy's cat throw up, because at least that video had a bit of a unique plot. This one just was so awful, dude. It was so awful, and that's when I started to really understand his point of view. However, the only thing I do not agree with is how it almost comes off like, now this is not attacking. This is not attacking. It's just what I've noticed is that he calls other people's opinion dumb. And that's the only part that I can really say I don't agree with. Like, you can have your opinions, sure, that's fine. But it gets to the point where it's like, but you also need to respect opinions. Because I look at his comments, right? Seeing if anybody's being like too harsh on him, seeing if people are glazing SML too much. Not that I'm some fucking god. I'm not a god, obviously not. It's his channel, so it's like I'm not going to tell him how to run his channel. Of course not. But I look through the comments to see other people's opinion, because like that's how I think the world should be. Like, look at every other opinion before forming your own. Because I think that's how the world builds up hate, is that you only get one side of the story, and then you judge based off of that. That's same reason that I don't take allegations against YouTubers at face value. Sorry, I'm getting off track. It's interesting, right? Because I can almost understand why he would get so frustrated, especially when like all the SML community is hating on him, which I don't think that's cool. I don't think him getting so much hate to the point where they made it almost the entire SML subreddit is against him. I think that's a little bit fucked up. Because again, it comes down to opinion. He doesn't like modern SML. A lot of SML fans like modern SML. I'm in the fence. I can see the flaws of modern SML, but I don't think it's as doom and gloom as he makes it out to be. That's the point of view that I have. I can see both sides, but there's a lot of parts that I don't really agree with. Like, it's his channel. I'm not gonna tell him how to run it, but he almost has a complex, and he's probably, if he even sees this video, which who fucking knows, but that's not me hating. I'm just giving criticism, and he could give criticism about my channel. But how he runs it, it's just like, I'm not gonna say he's a bully, but he definitely is a little bit aggressive with how he protects his opinions. But I have seen a couple of times when he kind of loses it, and when somebody says, I gave this video a 10 out of 10, which, first off, no modern SML video is a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 is like peak perfection. I'm just saying. You can have your opinions, but I just feel like, objectively, there is no 10 out of 10 SML video. Not even the golden era, which is like from Logan's mom's house to the apartment. That's where I kind of consider the golden era of SML. Not even those videos were 10s out of 10s, in my opinion. Okay. There are a couple of videos I consider 10 out of 10s, which I might do a separate video on that. But I'm trying so hard to not delve into the part where I'm just insulting the guy, because that's not fair to him. But genuinely, I can see why people can think that he's a bully. I don't think he's a bully. He's just, intense on his views. Just like I'm intense on some of my views of the world. I think that both sides of politics are crazy. But I think to label him a bully is kind of dumb, because he's not bullying a specific set of people. He just bullies people who he thinks don't respect his opinion. But then again, I do see him not respecting other people's opinion. But he's been respectful to me as of lately, so it's like, I kind of have a change of heart about him. I think we need to give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, I'm not saying don't criticize him, because, let's be real, everybody needs a little bit of criticizing. But we're all flawed, right? We're all not perfect. And I can understand how he comes off condescending. However, if you have had the entire SML community coming after you because of your personal views, you would be on the defense too. And then there's also the alternate reality where he's doing it for popularity. He understands that anger is the way to fuel people. And maybe he's pissing people off on purpose. But I don't think he is. Because there's very... Every once in a while, he does give videos high scores. But I think the rage bait part of it is that he gives them 3 out of 10s even when they're good. But again, I can understand where he's coming from. Modern SML is objectively not as good as older SML. However, that's not exactly Logan's fault. YouTube has dwindled down into madness, essentially. It has become a place where you have to kidify your channel. And unfortunately, SML was hit with that super hard. Especially with the cease and desist. One of the parts that got me into a feud with him at one point was that he was seemingly blaming Logan specifically and being really harsh to Logan, even though it's not Logan's fault that the channel is where it is right now. I'm sure he wants to make all of the awful jokes he wants to. I'm sure he wants to have characters' heads blowing off. I'm sure he wants to have sexual videos as raunchy as the old ones. I'm sure he wants to have Cody going back to having seizures. I'm sure he wants to bring back Screwball, but he legally can't. Because I think if he moves a 5th time, YouTube has the right to remove his ability to make videos. YouTube has gotten so awful that SML has become more of a teen for teen or T for teen channel rather than a TVMA channel like it was originally. So yeah. Now, another point that I want to mention is that people say, why doesn't he just leave SML if he hates him so much? He doesn't hate SML per se. He just wishes that it went back to the glory days. And I think that we can all agree that we all want our favorite TV show, movies, games to go back to the era that we enjoyed them at. People demonize him for his view on wanting SML to be exactly like it was when he enjoyed them. Let's be real here. We all want that. And you're lying if you do not, if you say you do not. Another thing is that he bullies people. Again, he doesn't bully people. He's just aggressive. And then finally, the biggest criticism, he has a complex. I can see where the complex comes from. He acts like a narcissistic asshole. A lot of people say that. And sometimes he does. But most of the time he just reviews videos. And again, if you don't like what he says, you can click off. You can click off. I can understand where it comes off toxic, but also if you're continuing to watch his video knowing that you're not going to enjoy what he has to say, it's not the channel for you and you need to click off. If you continue to watch his video knowing that you're not going to like what he says, you're the toxic one. I will have to say that. Now, I did see a comment on another... I saw a comment on another person's video where it's like, oh, hey, I agreed with his points and all of that. But the second that I questioned what videos does he give 10s out of 10s, he says, quote, oh, if you're a loyal viewer, you know. And if that actually did happen, which there's no proof of that, if he actually did say that, that is a bit fucked that he did do that, because like casual viewers do exist in everyone, and if you don't like casual viewers, you're not gonna grow as a YouTuber. Alright, so that's it for this video. I don't expect this video to go anywhere, really. But I think we need to give SML a fair shot, man. I don't think that rallying the entire SML community against him is cool. That's not a cool thing to do. He's just a little more heated when it comes to his review of SML. I know I normally don't do like talking about specific YouTubers, but I just feel like he needs a little bit of a helping hand when it comes to understanding his side of things. Cause I know that if he made a video like this, he would just call everybody stupid, which I would understand, because like, how are you gonna respect other people, or how are you going to be nice to people who are actively on a witch hunt against you? So I can almost understand his, defense. But yeah, make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and yeah, peace and love, SML Talks.